shit. Don't need drugs for some freak shit. I'm just high all the time. I'm out of my mind. I want to
Wait,
serenade you a little
drugs?
bit.
Drugs are. I don't need drugs for freak. Wait, I don't. I don't need drugs for
I don't
freak
need
shit.
drugs for some freak shit. I'm just high all the time.
So she's like high on life. Like life's got her high.
Yeah.
This is Scissors.
This is Renaissance.
Oh, it's from Renaissance. Which song is it?
I'm that girl.
Really? Oh, work. You know, I listened to Renaissance all the way through, then I just kind of picked the 3 songs I listened to over and over again.
Can we? I know this advisory. Can we just do our Wrapped on replay?
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to do so. Do you know
who's your top artist?
My top artist of the year.
Guess. Knowing you, probably one of your little queer friends.
Okay, that's not a guess. That's like me saying it's probably some lady for you. That's not.
I could say you like other people too. You like
no, that's not a guess.
You like Nicki Minaj.
You're guessing. You just guessed a genre.
I know. I'm not done, bitch. I was processing with my thing. I was not done.
You was like some queer musician.
I was not finished.
Also, I posted mine already.
Where?
So you probably cheated and saw it.
Trust me, I don't follow you, so I did not see that.
I'm sure you're obsessed.
I will say it's Camera Time.
You saw this already.
No, I did not. Where? Where did you post it?
On Instagram.
Bob, you talk about Camera Time all the time.
Where you stalking me? Camera Time is my number 1 artist of the year.
I knew it.
My number 2 artist of the year is Bob the Drag Queen. She's amazing.
Wow, she conceded. She got a reason.
My number 3 artist of the year. Do you want to try to guess some other artists?
I was going. You took over. I was fully going guessing. You keep on derailing my conversation.
I only gave
to
you
do
2.
your own thing.
All right, go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Monet, do you want to try to guess my artist? I was in the process of Camera Time, Bob the Drag Queen, Cardi B.
Nope.
Nicki Minaj.
Nope.
I'm good.
Camera Time, Bob the Drag Queen. This one shocked me. My number 3 really shocked me.
Monet Exchange.
Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham is my number 3 most listened to artist.
You listen to stand-up on Spotify?
No, Bo Burnham is a comedian, but it's not quite stand-up. Bo Burnham is a musical comedian. So I listened to Inside a lot recently. I've been like re-listening to Inside, his album from 2020 or 2021. And honestly, it's really good. Bo Burnham 8. Like if you all haven't watched Inside, you should. Camera Time is my number 1 artist of the year. I just love her. She's amazing. If you guys don't know her, she was on Gay Bars. She's the Pink Ranger on Gay Bars. And my number 4 is a rapper named Connie Diamond, who I just love. She's not queer. Well, maybe she is, but she's not like queer. Like, I don't know. If she is queer, I didn't know about it. But Connie Diamond is just great. Y'all know I love girl rap. Y'all know I love girl and gay rap. That's like GGT is my kind of is my music. And then my number 5, you should have guessed my number 5, Ocean Kelly.
Oh, Ocean Calandra.
So my top song of the year was Fever by Camera Time. My number 2 song was Bitch Like Me, Bob the Drag Queen. My number 3 song was Take My Picture, Bob the Drag Queen. My number 4 was
so conceited. Yeah.
My number 4 was If I Want To, Connie Diamond. And then my number 5 was Move, Connie Diamond, featuring Cam the Man.
Bob, that's inappropriate. You should not be your 2nd and 3rd most listened to artists. Well, RuPaul did say, if you can't listen to yourself, how the hell you listen to somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here?
Amen, honey.
You want to guess my top 5?
I'm going to guess SZA.
SZA's number 1. I listened to her for 3,565 minutes.
I'm going to guess Beyonce.
You were right. You know me so well. I listened to Beyonce for 2,163 minutes. There's no way you're getting the other 3. There's literally, if you got the next one, I swear to God, I would Venmo you $500 right now.
I don't need your money.
Yes, you do. And that little hoodie you've been wearing every episode, you do.
I'm gonna say Kylie Minogue.
No.
I'm gonna say
yes, her name sounds. We have the same name.
Oh, Janelle Monáe?
No. Well, not no like that. I love Janelle Monáe, but
Damn. Shots fired.
I love Janelle Monáe.
Kevin Gates?
Kevin
I said,
Samuels.
bitch, bend over, stand up on your toes, arch your bags back, baby, breathe through your nose. You really didn't strike me as a Kevin Gates fan. I'm really shocked that you're a Kevin Gates fan, Monet.
You're so rude. No, it was Victoria Monet.
Oh, I was trying to remember her name. I kept trying to remember that name. I was like, who's that one lady you was like pops off?
Yeah, Victoria Monet, and then number 4 was Ray, and then number 5 was Jessie Ware.
You know,
Metro Boomin was close though, because he's my 6th. I love Metro Boomin.
Oddly enough, I said my number 1 genre was Broadway, which none of those artists were Broadway.
Really?
Yeah, I said my number 1 genre was Broadway, which I found kind of interesting. I do listen to a lot of Broadway music. I'm surprised that Jacob's that song from what's the name wasn't Jacob's number 1.
Oh, so here's the thing. I'm going to be really fully honest and transparent. Mikey released a song, and I was trying to be supportive. So I had my Spotify looping it, so it would rack up streams for him. And that's why his song is my number 1. And then my number 2...
Did you do that for Bitch Like Me?
No, I have never been Jacob's number 1. I've never been a Jacob's Spotify rap. But Jacob supports me in a lot of ways.
Cold ass bitch.
I will say, I was behind the program where we got our Patreons to buy the album, so it got to number 1 on the iTunes rap chart.
Oh, so you're saying Bob wasn't behind that? That was a Jacob massive. So Jacob, I hope when my album comes out, you have the same energy for my shit.
And we've discussed it, and we're absolutely can do that for you.
No, tell Andy to get his ass down here and do some fucking footwork, honey.
Why you gotta bring Andy and stuff?
Because you bring him my boyfriend, don't ever kind of like, and that's my man, and I'm gonna stand by him too.
Jacob is a producer on this podcast,
and I'm gonna stand by him too.
Andy's minding his business, going to AA, which is a very spiritual experience for him.
Me and Jacob be always let you know you don't come for one of us, but I come for the other. Honey.
Anyway, my top song was "Boy's a Liar" by Ice Spice, which it had 95 plays. Snooze was second.
Did it strike me as a song you would like?
I love Boys a Liar. It was really trendy.
I didn't know that you like. I just don't see you as like much of a girl rap type. Like I don't ever hear you like listening to it or like.
What is it? Like Ice Spice is the occasional
Nicki verse from like. Besides the occasional Nicki verse from like the early 2000s, I don't ever hear you do any like girl raps. That's why I'm shocked.
Because Ice Spice is so New York. Like I listen to Ice Spice and I'm like, I know this girl. Like I know the bitch that be at the deli at 2:00 in the morning acting bangy as fuck and like twerking with her panties on. Like I've seen that girl, so I get that from Ice Spice.
Then you will love Connie Diamond. If you love New York, if you like it when they are just straight up New York than a motherfucker, may I please introduce you to Connie Diamond. Connie Diamond is just mwah. She's
I'll take a listen to Connie.
And she's stunning. Her aesthetic is beautiful. Her aesthetic is like gorgeous. I love the way she looks. I love the way she sounds. I love what she puts in her video. She's great. Big shout out to Connie Diamond. Big shout out to Camera Time. Big shout out to Ocean Kelly, and apparently a big shout out to Bo Burnham.
I want to shout out Noah Davis. Noah Davis is this R&B soul. His music is. I met him when he was a writer for Halloween for some of the songs on Halloween, but it was just on the Halloween drag extravaganza that we did 2 years ago. Ginger and I hosted, and Noah is this amazing R&B queer white singer, and he's everything. His voice.
Wait, is he the one that goes to Bianca's house sometimes and like? I feel like I met him at Bianca's house one time, and I think he was on Ocean Kelly's album too. I think he was on My Dolphin Has a Virus.
Was he?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
His songs are very sexual. Like he has a song called "I Want to Fuck You for Christmas."
No, I think he's on My Dolphin Has a. I feel like he's on one of Ocean Kelly's song. Noah what?
Davis.
Noah Davis.
He's an amazing singer. He's a brilliant writer. I love a good writer.
You know, I might have lied. I might have lied to you. I don't think Noah Davis is on Ocean Kelly's.
SZA is just all up and through. I have listened to SZA for over 10,000 minutes. I love that girl.
Anyway, that's really cool. I love that, and that's really exciting. I don't think I've had. By the way, I'm really not trying to because I'm not like one of those like I'm in, but I'm really shocked at how like independent artist my taste is. I don't know why it shocked me so much. Because I love pop music. Like I fucking love pop music. Anyone who knows me knows I love pop music, but I don't think I've had a number one who wasn't a GGT rapper in years. Like I don't think I've had a number one artist who was not a GGT rapper in a very long time.
You sound like you sound most people that like I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV. That's what you sound like. Listen to indie artists.
I just said I love pop music. Like I'm a pop music dictionary. I love pop music. But I feel like maybe after somewhere time around like 2019, I kind of fell off with the pop girlies. To be honest, like I haven't listened to much pop since 2019, and then I just started. But
Dirty pop,
because in 2020 it was Cupcake. 2021, I think it might have been Cupcake again. Then it was Ocean Kelly. I think it was Hodrick one year. Now it's Camera. Anyway, I mean, I got to get back into my pop game.
Well, now we need to talk. We need to get back in our advisory gang. It's an advisory. You spent the whole first 10 minutes talking about music. Now it's time to give advice, Bob.
Let's get some advice,
Jacob.
And do you want to do the disclaimer?
So listen, you all. Any advice that we give you is just for entertainment purposes. Monet and I are not medical professionals, sex professionals, relationship professionals, clinical psychiatrists, therapists. I'm not a mother. I'm not a father. I am somebody's cousin. Okay, my mom just called. As soon as I said mother, my mother literally just called. That is crazy. So please take this advice with a grain of salt. And with that, we should do some advice, Ma.
Let's do it.
Hey y'all, I'm Brian. I'm 27 years old. I'm from California, but I live in Hong Kong now. Actually just finishing up the latest episode of Advicery. So I want to reach out and ask for advice about heading home for the holidays. So I live in Hong Kong. I've been away from family for years at this point, and I have a really good relationship with my parents away from them. So I have, I message them almost daily, and I FaceTime with my mom pretty much weekly. But the second that I get home and with them in person, I start having like physical symptoms of anxiety. So I'll even wake up quite nauseous and feel out of it. But again, I have a pretty good relationship with them. So there's obviously some baggage there, or just anxiety being home, especially around the holidays. So do you guys have any advice on how to handle family, and maybe for other people, just handling any relationship with family over the holidays, and maybe some suggestions of what I should do to mitigate the the physical anxiety symptoms? So thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
Wait, so I missed it. They live in Hong Kong, but they're from where?
I don't know. Wherever home is. I didn't catch where home was, but
they're living in Hong Kong right now.
Yeah, they're in Hong Kong right now. They're going home for the holidays.
Are they American? They sound American.
Maybe, or maybe they're just, I don't know.
Have an American accent?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, people have American accents who aren't American all the time.
I know. Me?
Do it.
They're from California.
Cali. You know, I gotta be honest with you. I don't really have anxiety like that. I mean, I get anxious about things, but my anxiety has rarely, if ever, manifested in the form of a physical symptom, with the give or take an anxiety attack here and there. Maybe I've had like 3 anxiety attacks my whole life.
That night of Miss Saliva.
We don't have to recount them all. We can just acknowledge that they've happened. We don't have to go. We don't have to start naming them.
We were in a meeting earlier, y'all, and then Bob said something about ice cream, and then Kennedy was like, "Are you counting your calories today?" And Bob was like, "Are we done commenting?"
Yeah, I was like, "Are we?" I said, "Are we going to be talking about everyone's caloric intake or just mine? Are we done commenting on my body? Does anyone have any other comments they want to make about my body and my caloric intake?"
That shit was.
And then everyone was like, "No, we don't have any." And I was like, "Well, then I'm glad."
Well, to be fair, no one commented on your. I said, to be fair, no one commented.
Let's make it the last comment we make about my body or my caloric intake.
I was like, well, to be fair, no one commented about your body, and you're like, well,
it's indirect. It's indirect. It's indirect. If you see a person eating, you're like, damn, do you need to be eating that ice cream? You're not commenting on their body, but you're commenting on the ice cream. So it's
Well, I need you to
indirect.
say what you mean and mean what you say.
No, I didn't stutter. I did not miss anywhere. I said, and I would like to make sure this is our last time that anyone here is going to make any comments about my body or my caloric intake. And everyone said, all right.
There we go. I'll make sure to not comment about your calories.
And you will not be coming to my body in any of those meetings either.
And I don't want to comment about your body. Have I ever come about your body? I don't need to comment. Oh, want to, honey. I got a man. I got a man right there. I got a man.
Setting the boundaries.
I got a man.
It seems like you're uncomfortable with me setting boundaries.
It seems like you have a comfortable around your body and your calories.
Yeah, I do have a comfortable around my body and my calories. What of
it? Same. We all do.
Yeah, so I feel like me setting my boundaries is a healthy thing, and I don't understand what's so funny about it personally.
Stop switching your head at me and answer the question.
I've never had any anxiety about something, never that feeling like that around being around my family. But
there was the camera.
It sort of sounds like maybe there's something you're keeping from your family, or something your family doesn't know. Do you think that you need to come clean about something? Is there a skeleton in your closet, or is there some unspoken thing that you and your family need to talk about? Also,
that's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking.
This is a blanket statement that I give out a lot, but like also just like go to therapy with your family. You can do couples therapy with your family therapy with your parents. You know what I mean? Couples therapy isn't just for literal romantic couples. It's for any couple of people or a few people. You can get group therapy with your family, and make sure that and maybe some sort of a therapist will create a space where you can feel comfortable talking about what's going on and why you feel that way.
Yeah, that's what my thought too. I was like, if you have so much anxiety around it, it's probably something that are you out to your family? Do you feel anxiety about that someone's gonna find you out, or you want to tell them and you don't know how to say it? Is that maybe something? Or maybe some other deep-seated thing that something has to be making you anxious? Or is your family like really strict and you're afraid that you won't be able to like live your life? I mean, I can, from someone who would, when I would go back home when I was in college, like this feeling of, my family, like I can't like go out and hang out like I want to, do the things that I want to do because my family would like, because you feel like because you're not, I mean, you are an adult, but you're still coming back home. So maybe you feel like you can't hang out and do the things or like smoke weed or whatever you want to do because your family is so strict. So maybe that's what it is. So if it is something like that, I think that is tough, right? Because maybe you're a cigarette smoker and you don't want to smoke around them because you don't want your family to like shame you for smoking cigarettes. So if it's something like that, I would say, if you're not ready to have the conversation about, Ma, like I know you don't like cigarettes. I'm a cigarette smoker and it's my thing. If you're not ready to have that conversation, then you got to sneak around and do it. Although I hated that feeling like I couldn't do stuff when I went back home. Did you ever have that?
No, I don't hide stuff from my family. Like even if they don't approve of it, they just don't approve of it. And I was having a conversation with some of the dancers about that the other day, and I was like, yeah, if I do it, I probably do it in front of my parents. I mean, within moderation, obviously. I'm not like, I mean, I have sex, but I'm not gonna have sex in front of. I don't do that in front of anyone but the person I have sex with, really. But like, if I swear, my family's heard me swear. If I am gay, my family see me gay. If I'm in drag, if I do drag, my family knows that I do drag. Like I don't hide anything, and I let the people who don't want to associate with that choose that. But I also come from a very liberal family. My family is very, very liberal. I'm not the only gay person in my family. I don't have a strong need to hide, even if there are things that my family doesn't approve of, like my the fact that I'm agnostic or damn near atheist, really. I don't hide that from them at all. They have to just understand that that's how I am.
Yeah. I think that's also something that for me that came with age. I think the older I got more comfortable with that. But it was definitely I had to get to that level. I was not always like that. Now I'm at that place, but also because but also since after college I was pretty self-sufficient in doing everything for myself. So the more autonomy I had over my finances and everything, like the more independent I was, over everything in my life, the more I felt empowered to be like, well, this is what I do and this is who I am. So if you're still dependent on your family, that may be a little hard to set those boundaries and do that. But yeah,
maybe that's why I do it, because I've ever since I moved out and when I was 18, I've not been dependent on my mother financially. My mom did give me like $300 one time when I was in New York City when I first moved there. But besides that, I think that's the only time my mother's ever given me $1 since I was 18 years old. She gave me $300.
It's also really hard right now. A lot of millennials and Gen Zs are still at home because of the economy, and it's just hard to like. I understand it now. It's harder to do that in this world because of just how things are. It is hard to be independent of your family when shit is just so expensive.
Is it harder now than it was like in the early 2000s?
It is. Yes, I was watching on the View yesterday. On the View yesterday, they were talking about it and how like statistically, like way more millennials are at home than like Gen Xers were or Boomers were when they graduated college or left or graduated high school. Like we're just at home way like astronomically more.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Next question. Wow.
Hi, Bob, Monet, and Jacob. My name is Logan. I'm a cisgendered gay man. And I have a question pertaining to daddy issues. This may be geared more towards Bob than anyone, but I'll give you guys a little bit of the backstory. So my dad, he came out about 15 years ago after his second marriage. And he has subsequently started using hard drugs and really he's isolated himself. He's been single since. And he went from having a 6-figure income, his own business, and kind of threw that away to kind of almost like hit the self-destruct button. My brother purchased him a little trailer in Back Swamp, Mississippi, and he's been rotting there ever since. And we recently, of course, we've tried everything we can over the past decade or so to try to get him into rehab and get into this thick skull, but he's super stubborn. And I really haven't had much contact with him over the past 5 years or so. But I recently learned that he's had at least 2 people die of overdoses at his house. And of course, this brings up a lot of thought in my head, thinking maybe there's something I can do to prevent his eventual death from drugs. So I know this question is super heavy, but what can I do to support him from the sidelines while also not having his life consume mine? Any advice would be super appreciated. I love you guys.
In retrospect, I really piled the dark questions together, but it gets lighter after this one.
It's fine. I'm not concerned. I was like, is this my brother? Jesus Christ. Backwoods, Mississippi.
I don't know how much help I can offer in this field because I had a toxic parent and I just chose to go no contact. And that was my route for my own peace and my own healing. But understand that you kind of want to help but not get consumed by your father's darkness. And I don't know how you set boundaries around helping a parent in that way. I need to think about it a little more. Bob, you have any thoughts?
Yeah. I hate to tell you this. There's nothing you can do. You can't make someone get sober. You can't make someone go to rehab. You can't make someone want to be better. You can't go to program for someone. There's nothing you can do. It's really not up to you. Some people just have to hit rock bottom. And for some people, rock bottom is the grave. For some people, rock bottom is losing their house. For some people, rock bottom is losing their kids. For some people, rock bottom is losing their family. For some people, rock bottom is losing their health. And whenever you think you've hit rock bottom, beware because the floor could come out from under you again and you can just keep falling. And there's nothing that you can do to convince him to, in my opinion, to make him want to get better. Because you have to want to get better for yourself. You can't want to get better for people around you. You can't want to get better so that your kids will be proud of you. You can't want to get better so that someone will like you or so that you'll get a job. You know what I mean? You get a job because you got better. You don't get better so you can get a job.
Right.
If that makes any sense at all. And you have to put your sobriety before all those other things. And it just sounds like he's just not there. I am not a part of my father's sobriety. And my father does not have linear sobriety. It is jagged.
You said linear?
Linear, meaning like
got it. I didn't know if you said something else. Got it.
It's on and off.
Right.
And I, by the grace of God, as they say in the programs, I've not relapsed since I joined the program, but I know that it's possible. I certainly could, which is why I have to be diligent about making sure that I'm, being my best self and working on myself and doing steps and whatnot. And honestly, in my experience, the best way that people can want to come to the rooms is either by attraction, by seeing people who are sober and living their lives because they're sober, or because you're just completely desperate. You're at your wit's end and you have nowhere else to go and nowhere else to turn. And some people like being desperate. Some people want to have nothing. Some people like that feeling. It's when you have nothing to lose, you feel. Sometimes some people feel more free because they have nothing to lose, because they have lost everything, because they have nothing to live for, and some people like the feeling of having responsibility and having people look up to them and having people be able to rely on them and being able to say, there was a point in my life where a lot of the people that I knew just couldn't rely on me, and they knew they couldn't rely on me. They couldn't trust me. They couldn't rely on me. And if they called me, they just assumed I was drunk or on drugs, because I probably was. And then I shed most of those people just by moving around and living life. And which is funny because now most of my friends can't even imagine me being irresponsible or not showing up when I say I'm going to show up. Or if I'm one of those folks, people know if I say I'm going to be there, you probably don't have to call. You don't have to call twice. I'm going to end up being at the place at the time that we say we're going to be there. Whereas back in the day, I just didn't have any kind of. There was nothing trustworthy about me.
Work. Yeah. That's all I have to offer that question.
So I'm sorry to say that, but it's there's nothing you can. It's work that your father has to do. It's not work that you're going to do. And again, this is obviously all for entertainment purposes. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Ready for our next one, Jacob?
Or a grain of coke.
Yep.
Or that.
Hi, Bonet, Bob and Monet. I'm a 29-year-old gay man in Texas, and I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay, so my friends already know that when they ride with me in my car, I'm not a trap music girly. Okay, the most you might get from me is Megan Thee Stallion. You might hear some Screwed Up Click, Big Mo, Bar Baby type, music, rap, whatever. But as of lately, my friends have really been like, if they ride with me, because I'm an R&B head, and they'll be like,
Yes.
You like all this sappy shit. And, I wind up handing over the ox because I'm like, okay, well, damn, just make me feel bad or whatever. And also because my playlist is always on shuffle. So you hear some R&B, then it'll go from R&B to the fucking Lion King soundtrack, to fucking Dreamgirls soundtrack, to fucking Luke Combs country. I have an array of different artists and genres I listen to. So how do I politely, say, okay, well, you don't have to ride with me like this is my car without being rude. Sincerely, you can really get your ass out and walk.
Honestly, yes. Bitch, if you're in my car, you are subject to what I want to listen to. Now, if you I don't mind sharing that. Like sometimes in my car, I normally play music. I'm not like that precious about it, right? Like I just put my music on and I also don't play right along with my music super loud. Like I kind of have it like at speaking voice, so you can still have conversation and music still playing in the background. But for the most part, bitch, if you're in my car, you're listening to my music. Now, if I want to share the aux cord, or if I want to let you put your Bluetooth on because I want to hear something that you want to hear, sure. But at base level, it is what I want to listen to. And if you don't listen to it, bitch, take an Uber. Walk, but it's what I want to listen to in my car. The fuck?
So I have a very different approach to this. One, I don't play music in the car if we're talking. I do not like music in the background. If we're listening to music, we're listening to music. And if we're talking, we're talking. I do not want to hear music in the background while I'm talking. It's hard for me to focus. I think that if people in your car, be hospitable. That's like telling someone if they come to your house, if you're not comfortable here, fuck off. Or you could be like a good host and you can make your home hospitable. I personally think that when you're in the car with people, I believe in giving everyone in the car who wants to a rotation to pick the song. So you open up Apple Music or Spotify or Tidal or whatever music sharing, YouTube or whatever, Amazon, whatever music sharing you do. And then you just say, listen, I pick one, Jacob picks one. And then, Larry can pick one, and then Zach can pick one, and then Monet can pick one, and then Annie can pick one. I think, especially on long trips, if it's like a long trip, I think we should all be listening to music that everyone feels comfortable in. Because if people don't feel comfortable being around you, they're not going to want to be around you. If people are just like, well, when I get in the car, he's going to be like, well, then fuck it, you can walk. Then I'm just not going to get in your car anymore. Like if people don't want to hang out with you, if you don't make people comfortable hanging around with you, they're going to stop wanting to hang around you. You know what I mean?
But it's like they're giving them. It's like they're giving him that consideration. He said everyone knows I don't like trap music, and now, bitch, you want to blast trap music in the car? Like, no.
Then do Dream Girls after do Body, and the next song can be Dream Girls, and everyone gets to have fun. Everyone gets to listen to something that they want to listen to. That's just me and how I do the aux cord in my car. If I am with someone who doesn't consider, but like you said though, if I'm in the car with someone who doesn't want to give any consideration to what people can listen to, especially on a long trip, I will just literally never ride with you again because it's unenjoyable. If I don't want to listen to reggae for a 2-hour trip to Palm Springs, and you insist on only playing reggae, then I don't want to do that. By the way, Monet is not. I want to be clear. Monet is not like that. I've gone on several road trips with Monet when she was driving, and Monet does let everyone listen to music.
That's not true. Ask anyone in my car.
With me, you, and Tara Hyman drove to your college. We were all passing back and forth to Oxford. There's a whole footage of it. We were passing Oxford back and forth. Listening to what we wanted to listen to.
That was a different experience, but for the most part, when you are, you have your own car, or like when Andy and I go to something, or Patty, whatever. Like I normally put the radio on, or put my playlist on, and I have it at like a low volume because we're normally conversating anyway, so we're not really like listening. If moments where we're like the volume is all the way up and we're all listening to music, which is seldom. Sure, everyone is like putting stuff, but 90% of the time we're in my car, the music is on like, let's say it's like from like 1 to 30, the music is on like a 4, just to like a nice little like, just a little something in the background, but we're talking the whole time. I'm rarely in my car just to solely listen to music with people. Ever.
I guess you've changed in your days. Because we used to listen to music.
Well, we were on like a long road trip, and I'm sure, as we have all told you, myself, Nick, and Mateo at this point, and Jacob, when we would all hang out at Bob's house, it was typically like watching a YouTube video. So we were probably like in the car. Bob suggested something, we listened to it, and they were screaming rant, and we did something else. Like it was probably something like that. We weren't just like in the car, like let's listen to music for 2 hours. It was like a thing. Like we were like making it a point.
It also made the trip more enjoyable too. It's kind of like when everyone used to come to my house all the time, and in New York, we would all take turns picking the YouTube video. So like Monet would pick a video, and then Monet.
I rarely got to pick.
That's not true. So everyone got to. Then Pixie would pick a video, and then Mateo would pick a video. We all would like rotate
Pixie
what we're listening
fingers.
to, so that we weren't all just like it wasn't just like whatever pop. Monet said Pixie doesn't have fingers. Jacob? Do what?
You said Pixie doesn't have fingers?
Yeah, Monet's doing a thing. That's why I ignored it. Pixie does have fingers. Anyway,
did you check today?
But I think that the reason why people were always coming over to listen was because they all got to have an input on what the fun was when they were there, and it wasn't just it's what I say or it's the fucking highway.
That's also different. We're at your house, we're at your house hanging out. Like if we're in a car, like we're working at industry. I'm working at Mickey's tonight, and I'm like, I'll pick you up on the way. Like we're not hanging out. We're getting us all to and from work. So just having the music on to get us from point A to point B. Like if we're your house, that's a different thing. We're all like choosing, hey, we're gonna be at Bob's house tonight at 9:00 to all hang out and commune together. That's different than I'm going to work. You want to ride, and then we are listening to trap music on volume 30 for the next 12 minutes. No.
Well, they didn't say what the thing was, because sometimes it's like if everyone's going to like to the club and everyone wants to get a hype on the way to the club and stuff. But again, I mean, Monet said what she said, and Monet also has made it very clear that I do not ride in the car with her. I drive myself. I drive myself to anything I meet Monet at. I drive myself there.
That is true. Am I making that up?
No, I said, as Monet said, I don't get in the car with her.
It's not like you're being sarcastic or you're being silly.
No, I'm saying maybe because, I mean, not because I didn't know that Monet had such a strict no one's allowed to play music in her car.
No
that's
fun
not
in my
her.
car ever, especially if your name rhymes with the rag queen.
I didn't say fun, but I didn't know that you had such a strict policy about who's allowed to play what music in your car. I wasn't aware that was such a
It's
strong
not a policy,
line.
but like if you are like belly aching about, oh, this music sounds terrible, I'm like, bitch, how you come to my car criticizing me my shit? Then bitch walk.
I mean, terrible. That's not particularly kind to be like, I hate this music. I also don't know that the questioner was like, they think my music's terrible. But I can see how if you want to go to the club and get crunk on the way to the club, you might not want to listen to Circle of Life. That's
why?
fair.
Thorgy Thor performed Circle of Life at Westgate somewhere in 2015, I think. And it was
but as soon as her song was over, they played Lil' Kim. They didn't continue. They didn't continue the Elton John discography.
Lick this pussy just like you should. Right now, lick it good. Suck this pussy just like you. You know, Kaya went on to say, she did an interview. She was like, these new rap girls, like when I used to rap, I was rapping about like dignified stuff. These girls just talking about about their pussy. I was like,
wait, no, was it a bit? No, she didn't say that.
No, she was dead ass. I was like,
it wasn't a bit.
No, it was not a bit. I was like, you had a song called My Neck, My Back, Lick My Pussy and My Crack.
Kaya?
Yes. But she's also a mess. Like, you remember that whole thing with her and T.S. Madison? She's like a little
remember. Kaya stay fighting somebody. Kaya stay fighting somebody, honey. Who was the other one who's arguing with
these new girls? This all talking about my pussy and this and that and the other. These new girls, like, and we didn't rap about that kind of stuff back in my day.
Which by the way, they did. Lil' Kim said, watch how I make the Sprite can disappear in my mouth.
Bitch, Adina Howard, I'm going to be a freak until the dawn.
Yeah, there was a lot of girls back in the day. Trina said, dump like a truck. Thighs like what? A nail hoe got more booty in the butt. Cisco made that song when it see me in the thong, the thong, thong, thong. So yeah, they were rapping like that back in the day. Freak rapping is not brand new. It has been going on.
That really hurts my feelings when you do that. Can you not do that?
It hurts my feelings when you twerk. So every time you twerk, I'm gonna do it every time.
Okay.
What's our next question, Jacob? Oh wait, Jacob. He said your name too, so maybe you should weigh in. He did say your name.
No, that was the last one.
Wow, Bob. That's not nice.
This one said Bonet, Bob and Monet.
Oh, so do you have anything to say about dads on drugs?
Woo!
Okay, what's the next question, Jacob? Not that man should have called my daddy a crackhead. I'm screaming. Whoa, it just occurred to me. What music? It just occurred to me that man straight up called my daddy a crackhead.
I'm for the record, you have also called him that on this podcast Jacob, before as well.
He's my father. He's my father. He's my father.
I think you've expressed homo with your dad, and he was like, Bob, I think you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my daddy, Bob would know. Bob would know. If anyone know about a crackhead ass daddy living in a trailer. And yes, my father has lived in a trailer at one point in his life. And
you just said a trailer. Oh my God, you got real
trailer.
You said, you just said a trailer.
No, I said trailer. How do you say trailer?
Jade, rewind the tape. Not now. Before when you just said, and yes, my dad did live in a trailer.
Oh, but he was doing a character with a southern accent.
No, he did it because he even heard that he did it. He didn't recognize he did it.
Monet, do you have you ever had a relative live in a trailer before?
No.
Have you ever been in a trailer?
No.
You've never been in a trailer?
No.
You've been in a mobile home park or anything?
No, I'm from New York. We don't have those in New York though. Like, have you ever been?
You haven't lived in New York your whole life? Didn't you live in St. Lucia for like 18 years or some shit?
I lived in St. Lucia from 9 months to 9 years old.
Yeah, so
that was a mansion.
And we don't have trailers. St. Lucia doesn't have trailers.
There's got to be a trailer in St. Lucia.
There's not a trailer in St. Lucia. We have like
St. Lucia ain't got trailers. It ain't got deer. It ain't got the moon, the sun. No fish
live
there.
Live in very small houses, probably like the size of like your living room, like before in 945 Amsterdam, and it'll be like
drag my living room.
Huh?
I said drag my living room.
Or like the size of your apartment, excluding the kitchen. So like right when you came to that door, when it's like your living room and your bedroom, like that size for like a family of like 4 people.
Jake, have you ever been to Trailer Park?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Where?
I feel like I have. I feel like we have cousins.
Now it's a
like...
feeling. So before it was now it's a feeling.
Well, because Jacob can't recount every trailer he's ever been in. But anyway, I've been in a lot of trailers in my day. And my aunt used to live in a very nice double wide trailer in Forsyth, Georgia. Baby, I remember coming home and being like, Mom, we should move into a trailer. Because at the time we were living in this apartment complex in Ellenwood, Georgia, which is the suburbs of Atlanta, Clayton County. And I was like, Mom, we need to move into that double wide. Mom, this thing was crazy.
Well, now people are living in tiny homes, which are just like really glamorous trailers. Well, they're not really glamorous trailers. Sometimes they're smaller than trailers, but they're these tiny homes that they make them look really chic and really they're fierce. Like I'm like, why don't people just convert or try to get a tiny home instead of a trailer?
Because trailers are still cheaper than tiny homes.
Like
a double wide trailer.
A
double wide trailer is like the size of a house. Like a double wide trailer is bigger than my apartment at Amsterdam.
Really?
Bitch, a double wide trailer is huge. Double wides can be massive. They're basically just shipping an entire house. They're basically shipping it in. I wish I had pictured my Aunt Tracy's house when she lived in the double wide. It was really nice.
I've never seen those things online where they literally pick up a house and move it to another place. That shit is crazy to me.
I've seen it on the road.
Yeah, on the highway. Yes, I'm talking about that shit is.
I've seen it with my eyes. I've seen houses driving down the street.
I've seen it one time. When I did the Spoleto Festival and I drove from New Jersey to Charleston, South Carolina, and I woke up at this one trip and I'm just looking at a full home on like a thing driving. I was like, this is
wide load.
Crazy that this just transported this whole home.
But you hit a speed bump, you better have home insurance because that whole motherfucker's gonna.
Well, how do they ensure they're gonna? I guess they obviously map this out to make sure they have clearance everywhere they go to get this home to its final destination. But it just seems so crazy.
Yeah, it is wild, and there's also lots of. I'm currently on cheap old houses. My dream is to buy one of these cheap old houses and fix them up over the course of like 10 years, and I have it be like a retirement home or a place I can just go vacation and stuff. And a lot of those homes are like you can buy the house, but you have to move it. We'll give you a house for like $5,000, but you have to move it somewhere else. Like you can't have the land, you can have the house.
Gag. Have you seen this new thing that all these smart home builds, but not like electronic, like literally a machine. It can build a house in 3 days and have these weird lines to it. And it's literally like, it's like
3D printing.
Yeah, 3D printing a house. Have you seen this?
No.
Bitch, that shit is wild. But your house has this weird texture to it on the inside too. It's kind of weird, but it 3D prints your entire house.
Let me find this little 3D print of a house. I can't. My internet won't let me. I have to look at myself.
Well, Jacob's screen is still loading for me.
It's fine. I can find it. It's not a big deal.
3D I was fully sharing it, so I guess it just wasn't going.
How concrete homes are built with a 3D printer on Insider Art.
I mean, I'm
that's the one. It's the same. It's the same tech. That's the one.
Wow, 3D printed concrete house in 48 hours. I wonder how much it costs.
They're cheap.
Interesting. You know what? Maybe this is the future.
Girl, it is the future.
Google says it costs $10,000 to $400,000.
Well, that's a bit of a gap.
Well, I think it depends on the size.
I'm gonna need Google to reel it in.
Yeah,
all right.
But you have to have this weird texture. I'm sure that they'll figure science about to make it not have that weird.
You can probably just drywall over the texture. You can probably sand the texture down, but you can probably just put up drywall or sand the texture down, and it'll probably go away.
But no one does it. All of them I see have that. I'm like, no one thought about that yet.
Maybe it's part of the aesthetic. Maybe it's part of the vibe. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to our next one.
I'm going to keep my name out so I don't out myself, but I'm a 24-year-old cis female from Jackson, Mississippi, and I want advice on how to navigate the gay dating scene if I don't know if I'm gay or not. I'm attracted to both men and women, and I've known that my whole life. But I've majority been with men, and I've only been with one woman, and I just really didn't like having sex with her. And I know there are a lot of other factors playing into that, but in my head, I'm just like, okay, that means I'm not bisexual. But I still just have this suspicion that, or just this feeling that I am. And I know the only way to really figure it out is to put myself into the like gay dating world and go out with women. But I just feel like I'm lying when I go on dating apps and say that I'm bisexual, because I genuinely don't know if I am. And I feel like it's just rude to go out with people. And if you're not gay, like, I feel like that's like using them as some sort of experiment to determine my sexuality, and just feels ingenuine and just rude. So I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that. Like, is that an okay thing to do? Like, is it accepted in the gay community, or is that like really like just wrong to do that? Thank y'all. Love y'all so much.
You know, in exploring your sexual identity and your sexuality, I want you to take away this like notion of like what's right and what's wrong, right? I think that we have all growing up, and you sound, I mean, I don't know what you sound like, but I'm assuming you're like, by our demographic listeners, maybe you're like a millennial or Gen Z or whatever you are. I think that we've like been conditioned to think like what's right and what's wrong. She's fully
70.
Say it again.
She's fully 70.
She could be. We have like taught ourselves like what's right and what's wrong, but like sexuality is constantly, your tastes, your proclivities, they're always changing and evolving. And to lock yourself and think, well, if I don't like having sex with women this one time, I guess I'm not a lesbian, or like it didn't work these 3 times, so I guess I don't like girls. Like there may be other parts of being with a woman that we're appealing to. Maybe the sex not for you, but you like the emotional availability and you like the intimacy you had with a woman, but maybe not necessarily the sex. Like I have 3 friends now that have discovered that they were lesbians, and in each time, it was the emotional availability of being with a woman. It was the thing that satisfied that part of it. Like that's what made them realize that part of their identity. So I think that you should just train your mind to like, maybe this time wasn't right, but don't close yourself off to having those experiences later and discovering other parts of being with a woman that do appeal to you. And maybe it may not be the vagina part of it or whatever sexual part of it that doesn't please you. There may be other things of being with a woman that are calling you and that will be pleasing to you and you can see in a long-term way. Also, maybe you might be someone who is polyamorous. Like you have sex with men, but you are with a woman another way. Like I don't know. Like there are infinite number of possibilities that could be your future in this. So don't think that you're right or you're wrong or you did the wrong thing or that's just not for you because it didn't feel right this time. Like allow yourself the space and the time to just let it develop. When it's right, it's right, and you'll know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a guy on TikTok named Jacob Hoff. Jacob Hoff. You should look him up. Jacob Hoff is a gay guy with a girlfriend. And he's like, I'm not bisexual. I'm a gay guy. I have a girlfriend and we have sex and I'm sexually attracted to her. And he's like, I'm not attracted to women. I'm attracted to like just this one woman. That's why I say I'm not bisexual, because I'm not really attracted to women as a whole. It's just this one woman I am sexually attracted to. But other than that, I am just pretty much exclusively attracted to men. But also, just because you don't want to have sex with that one woman doesn't mean that you're not a lesbian or not bisexual. Maybe you just weren't attracted to her. Maybe she just isn't your type. You know what I mean? And there is a section of the sapphic community that is very over. They're not interested in these quote unquote straight girls who are trying to find themselves because they find they get their hearts broken. So I just want to say that is a thing in the world. So your trepidation is not unfounded. It's not unjustified. But I think that if you're thinking about trying to hook up with girls, then baby, you're probably not straight. And your queerness or your bisexuality does not have to be 50-50. There's this idea that if you don't want to hook up with men, if you're not as equally attracted to men as you are attracted to women, then you can't be pansexual, you cannot be bisexual. It has to be right down the middle. If you are mostly attracted to men, but you only like a certain physical attributes of women, or vice versa, that doesn't mean you're not bi, or doesn't mean you're not pansexual. It just means that you're not on this 50-50 scale. You know what I mean? And baby, trying to date in fucking, I'm no shade to Mississippi, but baby, you're probably gonna get a lot of fucking closeted wives, and y'all trying to turn you out in Mississippi. I have a lot of friends who are like, girl, these closeted fucking Mississippi girls will get you together and ruin your fucking life, because they're not leaving their husbands. You will be their secret, yada yada yada.
And for all intents and purposes, they've probably been betrothed to this fucking dude ever since, their parents were high school football players together and blah, 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 blah. And then it becomes that, and they're stuck with these dudes. And now they find you at the club and they want to just eat a little puss and move on.
Yeah, I have a couple of sapphic friends who are like, girl, don't fuck with these. Do not fuck with these married women. Do not fuck with these married women. They will fucking ruin your life. They will turn your shit upside down. And that's not from experience. I've never fucked a married woman once in my life.
Yes, you
but
have.
That being said, who?
Me.
Married woman. Oh, was I the one who fucked you from All Stars? So just so you guys know, I do think that you should probably take your ass over to Birmingham or up to Nashville or over to fucking somewhere in New Orleans or Baton Rouge or somewhere, because Mississippi did not have a lot in terms of queer. I don't think there's any gay bars in Mississippi. I think the last gay bar in Mississippi closed, I think.
Does Birmingham have a lot?
Yeah, Birmingham is a pretty big town. It has a lot of, it has like 1 or 2 gay bars. Birmingham has gay bars, yeah.
Oh.
Birmingham is Alabama is a small state, but to understand the difference between Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, they're on a scale of like country, countryer, countryest. And Georgia is country. But when you go to Alabama, you're like, Jesus Christ. Baby, Georgia is the big city. And then you go to Alabama, and then you go to Mississippi, you're like, what is happening? This is crazy. That's what Mississippi is.
Mississippi. I've never been to the state of Mississippi. I don't think so.
Mississippi is wild. Mississippi is a wild, wild place.
Also, I have a counter on my personal one. You will find any way to work the title in of your little EP. You've said it 7 times already on this podcast.
Yeah. That's why I'm my number 2 artist of the year. And you're nowhere on your list. March.
I haven't put music out in like 2 years though. And I still have 30,000 monthly listeners.
You're 30,000?
I don't know. I haven't checked. Let me see what mine is.
Maybe it went up. What number? If I'm gonna look at what number would you be happy with? Well, I believe that once you release your album in the next, like I think 8 years, you said it'll be done in about 8 years.
Suck my dick, Bob.
You'll probably. I'm sure you'll get a big boost in your.
I have 25.4 monthly listeners. Damn.
So everyone set your calendar for June of 2044 to get Monet's album. And
it's March.
It's March
2024.
March 2024. Y'all heard of Unapologetically? Get rid of the album inevitably. She is inevitably going to release the album at one time.
It's coming out.
When, Rihanna? When?
In the first quarter of next year, it's coming out.
Oh, before the spring.
Yes.
Before spring. In whoa. This winter is coming out.
It's gonna be winter spring.
No. Well, now you're backtracking. She's backtracking, Your Honor. She's backtracking.
Yeah, it was the first quarter of the first half.
Yeah, you went for the first quarter, first half. But it's like more like the first quarter of this decade.
Within the first 4 months of the next year.
So April
3rd.
So by April Fool's Day. And if you don't release by April Fool's Day,
Bob going to be on it?
And if it don't come out
Y'all
April
have
Fool's
to
Day,
wait and see. Maybe.
we're the fools. We're the fools if it don't come up April Fool's Day. The joke's on us, honey. We got time for one more. Hi, my name is Kevin. I need help releasing my album.
Hi, Bob and Monet. My name's Kelly, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a 22-year-old cisgender woman. And I have a question
No
about
white?
handling frustrating situations when you live with your partner, especially when they're out of your control. The past 2 weeks, my partner and I have been having a lot of trouble with our Wi-Fi, and we basically have no internet. And it's been really hard to get any help with that. And this has kind of caused us to snip at each other a little and just feel really shitty. And it sucks because it's not really an issue between us. It's an outside issue, but we're not always handling it the best way that we can. So how do you handle these disputes when the root cause is something you can't really fix? Love you guys. Thank you.
Is it me? So, okay, me and Jacob kind of have this understanding around the house. If something needs to be done, we kind of just know the one that's going to do it. If the router's down, Jacob is on it because we can't, and I won't, and I can't, and I also won't. But also, if we need to hang a picture, Jacob will stand in the living room and give me so much emotional support and so much encouragement. But my sweet baby is not about to take part in the hanging, the hanging of the pictures. He will hand me a nail or a screwdriver. But it's just not. It's not in his spirit. Just like it's not in my spirit to fix the Wi-Fi, or it's not in my spirit to figure out why the projector's not working, or to figure out why the remote isn't connecting to the fucking Xbox or whatever. And but maybe you and your partner just have an overlap in your skill set, and you two are both could be doing the same thing, whereas me and Jacob just kind of naturally fall into a pattern where we just have different skill sets that happen to complement our home quite nicely. How do you feel that accurate to you, Jacob?
I think the better example is the ceiling leak, because that was something that was kind of out of both of our wheelhouses that we both had to deal with collaboratively together.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah, 2 times now, on 2 different occasions, completely different occasions, the ceiling in my bedroom just started leaking. Just set fire to the rain, full on bubble pockets of paint, had to cut holes in the ceiling. Now, the first time I was home, second time Jacob was a real champion. I was not home, and he did it while I'm very proud of you, Jacob. That was really impressive that you handled that the way you did. But we were doing this like I was calling this person, Jacob was calling that person, Jacob was emailing this person, I was talking to this person when they showed up, that kind of thing, which probably made it a little bit easier the second time for you, Jacob. Do you feel? Maybe?
Yeah, I think by the second time I already knew also the first time it happened, it was Christmas Day.
That is true.
So that was the other issue. The other problem was that it was Christmas Day. Also, I was recovering from surgery. That was right. Part 2 of that as well.
I forgot. That was wild. Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ. We could not win for losing.
What is the nature of the question? What is the question asking? I've lost the question.
The question is how do you, if there are problems going around the house, how do you split it up between your partner to get things done, and how are you still cordial with each other when those things are irritating? Because, by the way, not having internet at home is fucking annoying. Not having internet at home will put you in your worst behavior.
Yeah. How do you stay nice when it's not necessarily anybody's fault? You're just dealing with a frustrating circumstance together. How do you deal with that for a long time and still be your best self?
I think kind of how I do a lot of things myself. Like I just do it myself. And if I really need Andy's help, I'll be like, hey, X blah, 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 blah. For the most part, I'll handle myself, or I will call a person to do
everything in the house.
Pretty much give me an example. I can't think of anything that I just haven't handled myself.
You come home and the entire bathroom is completely flooded into the living room. Shit and water everywhere.
Why are you jumping to shit and water?
Because you never had your toilet overflow from another apartment, or water just comes up through the toilet.
You?
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, I have.
I've never experienced that.
Oh, well, must be nice. Must be nice.
Well,
Comment below if you have.
yeah. Bob was like, okay, you come home.
They're pretty common.
Bob was like, you come home and you find a burglar who he's killed your cat and he's barbecuing filleting a fish on your stove. How do you handle that, bitch?
Okay, your toilet overflowing is a lot more common than a burglar killing your cat and filleting fish in your house.
You just get with
Okay. You come to your house. There's a man holding Colleen hostage. He's on drugs and he also wants to get more fit. And he says, I need help getting sober and I also need a personal trainer.
I'll be like, first of all, how did you get in here?
And the toilet's overflowing. You said you're what? What'd you say? You're what?
I said, well, how did you get in here?
That is all Octave for today.
Just bleep it. Just bleep it. Just bleep it, y'all.
So, but yeah, like if your toilet's overflowing, who's gonna take care of it?
So we are both. I would spring into action where we both like get the water up and then call a plumber because I don't think there's anything we can do like without beyond the obvious getting the plunger and plunging it.
Who's calling the plumber?
I would probably call the plumber.
And who's talking to the plumber when he gets there?
I would probably talk to him when they get here.
And who's paying the plumber?
Me.
God damn, Andy got bitch. I had to move. Andy ate that up. Damn, Andy is living the life. Andy just sitting in the back like
Andy will probably help. Andy will probably
thank you to my man.
Andy will probably be cleaning it up while actually Andy probably
too late. You say I'm cleaning it. I'm scooping up the water. I'm calling it. I'm
while the water being scooped up. I will probably be calling because if to avoid it getting worse while that's happening. We're probably what's happening. Okay, we walk in together. Boom. We both get towels. We're thinking it up. As we get in the towels, I am already on Google Maps. Plumbers in my neighborhood. Calling on speaker. Hi, we're trying to get this up. Our toilet's overflowing. Do you guys have anyone rush and get here tonight? Boom. They'll come over. And then, but we're both doing that together.
Let's say you're trying to build a house, and like somewhere in the midst of all this, your planner lost the blueprints to the house, and you have to go all the way down to town hall to get blueprints for your house. Otherwise, it cannot go forward. What is Andy doing in this situation?
That's what are there two people to do in that situation? One person has to go get them. Why are two people going to do that?
Let's say you have a Thanksgiving Day dinner and there's no gas. You have no gas in the house, and you have to figure out how to get gas in your house on Thanksgiving because your family's coming. What's Andy doing?
I'm going to get
Andy is living the life. I need to get on this Andy shit. I need to get on this Andy shit. God damn.
Andy's probably gonna go get a can of propane, and I'm calling SoCal Gas because I don't know where did you even get propane from?
Did Andy go get propane?
No, that didn't happen. What are you talking about? We got the gas.
We have a whole podcast about it.
Yeah, but we got the gas. I told you what happened. I explained what happened. Did you listen to how the solution was resolved?
Yes,
no.
But did Andy also leap into action? What was Andy's leap toward the action?
There's nothing for him to do. I just called SoCal Gas and they came and put the gas on.
I need to give me this Andy story. Andy is living the kept woman.
You are so bitch. Jacob is the kept woman.
Jacob, don't be taking no notes from Andy, Jacob. You still doing your little chunks, honey. Don't be taking no notes from Andy, Jacob. You still doing your little chunks around the house.
What chunks?
Jacob maintains our home, but I don't even be there.
How is he maintaining your home?
I don't even be at home. Jacob got our curtains installed. Jacob organized the painters to come to the house and do that whole thing.
Andy moved us from one place to another because I was out of town. So Andy took care of that home move by himself.
Jacob single-handedly took all of our furniture into our home.
New York to California.
No, he did not. Kennedy did that. Please.
Patty did it actually.
No, Kennedy. Patty was working with me.
Patty and Kennedy.
No, Patty did 945 to thing.
Jacob was there too. Jacob, what you do? I mean, I wasn't there.
No, so Kennedy organized the box, and then Kennedy, Free, and I moved the entire apartment out of the three of us moved everything out of the apartment into the pod. And then the pod shifted over, and then together, me, you, and Kennedy moved us out of the pod.
And the through line there is Kennedy. So what I'm hearing is if Kennedy wasn't a part of this, both y'all niggas
Kennedy
would be a mess.
Kennedy worked very hard, but I'm just saying my baby was picking up boxes, honey. Boxes on boxes.
And I'm a very small man.
And by box, y'all, this was Jacob with his box.
Oh, baby, when I tell you Jacob will have the smallest box. When I tell you Kennedy will be like a pack mule, and Jacob will be carrying a ring box and be like,
Jacob was like, "Oh, this shit is heavy. What y'all got here?"
One time when me and Jacob were living in a bedroom in WeHo, we didn't have a place yet. I said, Jacob, like, I'm going to the store. Can you get me something? I said, Jacob, can you just please bring me back a 2-liter of Diet Coke? And he was like, okay. Jacob came back with a 16 ounce. I said, Jacob, I wanted a 2-liter. And Jacob was like, those are heavy.
I would just like to, for clarity, I'm a New Yorker, so I walk everywhere. So I didn't want to go through the streets of LA, walk in 15 minutes, looking crazy carrying a 2-liter.
Jacob,
I think that's understandable.
It is not a refrigerator.
Jacob said, those are heavy.
You're like Patti LaBelle. Jacob, like, what wrong?
Okay, I think it's time. I think that's our episode for today. It's been lovely, ladies.
Well, let me tell you one more thing. We don't go grocery shopping often, but when we take our stuff up to the car, I because I was a boy as a kid, I am like, let me tell you right now, when I say, not just a boy, I was like a country boy as a kid. Jacob, I was a boy as a kid too. One trip, I will break myself in half to not have to go back to that car. Baby, Jacob will take 20 trips with a smile on his face. Jacob will be like, honey, I'm not about to live 18, but Jacob will be like one Cheerio at a time.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all that in one trip for sure.
I will kill myself to make it one trip. Dropping shit, hands hurting, knees shaking, back cracking, can't press the button, can't get my keys out, but we got it in one trip.
Are you about to sing that song? My booty, my back breaking, my booty tight.
All right, let's go. Jacob, I love you, Jacob.
My back my bra too tight, my booty shaking from the left to the right, but I am.
Jacob, I love you. Do you love me too, Jacob?
I love you very much.
He says begrudgingly.
Bye.
Bye.